Welcome everyone, Shafahad here, and we're about to embark on a journey back in time to a period that still casts a long shadow over our world today, the road to the Second World War. Now, you can't understand something like World War II without understanding the forces that brought it into being. It didn't just explode out of nowhere. It was the result of decisions made, of ideologies embraced, of fears indulged in, of mistakes repeated, and of course of the sheer ambition of men who sought to reshape the world in their own image. Over the course of this series, we're going to dissect these factors, these historical fault lines that finally cracked and broke, plunging humanity into the abyss of another global conflict. We're going to take our time, understand the context, and really try to grasp the monumental scale of what unfolded. Welcome to our deep dive into the origins of World War II. Today, we'll explore the key events and factors that led to one of the most devastating conflicts in human history. Day 1. The guns have fallen silent on the Western Front. Millions lie dead. Empires have crumbled, and a continent is in ruins. The victors gather in Paris at Versailles to dictate the terms of peace, to try and stitch together a new world order from the tattered remnants of the old. But the peace they craft, the treaty they impose, is a deeply flawed one. Germany, blamed for the war's horrors, is forced to accept crippling reparations. Stripped of territory, its military emasculated. The seeds of resentment are sown, a toxic cocktail of humiliation and anger brewing among a people told they are solely responsible for the cataclysm that engulfed the world. The 1920s roar into life, a decade of jazz and flappers, but beneath the surface darker forces are at work. In the aftermath of such unimaginable carnage, the old certainties are gone and people are desperate for answers, for someone to lead them out of the chaos. It is into this vacuum that figures like Benito Mussolini in Italy and Adolf Hitler in Germany step. These are not your traditional statesmen. They are charismatic demagogues, masters of propaganda who offer simple solutions to complex problems, scapegoating minorities and promising national rejuvenation through authoritarianism and force. By the mid-1930s, Hitler's Germany is flexing its muscles. He rebuilds the German military in defiance of Versailles, reoccupies the Rhineland, and then sets his sights on Austria, carrying out the Anschluss, the annexation of his homeland, without a shot being fired. The democracies of Europe, Britain and France, racked by their own internal problems and haunted by the spectre of another war, desperately try to appease Hitler's appetite. But appeasement, as we'll see, is like offering a starving wolf a piece of meat and hoping it will satisfy its hunger. It only emboldens him further. Chapter 4. The Pact of Devils, an Unholy Alliance, August 1939. The world watches with bated breath as Hitler and Stalin, the dictators of Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, sign a non-aggression pact. It seems unthinkable. These are sworn ideological enemies, but there is a cold, cynical logic to their pact. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, as it's known, is a pact carved up between cynics, a temporary marriage of convenience that buys both sides time. It also contains a secret protocol, a dark undercurrent that divides Eastern Europe between them, sealing the fate of millions. Chapter 5. Blitzkrieg, the storm breaks. September 1st, 1939. The world holds its breath. At dawn, German forces unleash a devastating new form of warfare. Blitzkrieg, lightning war. Tanks and aircraft smash through Polish defenses, while infantry units encircle and destroy the outmatched Polish army. From the east, Stalin, true to his word, or rather his secret pact, unleashes the Red Army, crushing Polish resistance from the other direction. In a matter of weeks, Poland ceases to exist, swallowed whole by its more powerful neighbors. Chapter 6. The die is cast. Declarations of war. The invasion of Poland is a bridge too far. On September 3rd, 1939, after frantic diplomatic efforts failed to deter Hitler, Great Britain and France declare war on Germany. The Second World War has begun, but the initial months of the war are eerily quiet on the Western Front. The phony war, as it's called, is a time of tense anticipation, a lull before the storm that will soon engulf Europe and the world. Chapter 7. The Crucible of Conflict, a world on fire. To truly understand the Second World War, though, We need to look beyond the immediate triggers, beyond Hitler's ambition or the failures of appeasement. These were sparks, yes, but the tinder had been laid long before. The Great Depression, a global economic catastrophe, had poisoned the world's economies, breeding extremism and nationalism. The League of Nations, designed to prevent another war, proved toothless and ineffective. The stage was set for another conflagration. Chapter 8, A World at War. The Global Cataclysm, 1940, the phony war is over. With shocking speed, German forces conquer Denmark and Norway, then unleash their blitzkrieg on Western Europe. The Netherlands, Belgium and France fall in rapid succession. Only Britain, standing defiant across the English Channel, remains unconquered. In June 1941, Hitler breaks his pact with Stalin, unleashing Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. The Eastern Front becomes a meat grinder, a war of annihilation unlike anything the world had ever seen. And then, in December 1941, the unthinkable happens. Japan attacks Pearl Harbor, bringing the United States, the sleeping giant, into the war. Outro, the echoes of war. And there you have it, the long, winding and horrifying road to the Second World War. We've seen how the Treaty of Versailles, the rise of totalitarian regimes, the failure of appeasement, and a host of other factors culminated in the deadliest conflict in human history. But understanding the past is not just about memorizing dates and names. It's about understanding the forces that shape our world, the choices that lead to conflict or peace, to tyranny or freedom. The Second World War, in all its horror, stands as a stark reminder of what happens when the world loses its way, when hatred and intolerance are allowed to fester, and when good people fail to act. It's a lesson we must never forget. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into history.